set resolutions. I know it's tempting with the beginning of new year because you start to think of it like, oh, it's a brand new reset and I have this blank white space, just like what's in front of us on the screen. And it promises excitement for most of us. We're dreaming about the year ahead and all the goals we want to achieve. And it's easy to want to capitalize on that feeling and set those resolutions on January 1. Yet by February, most of our resolutions have failed. And in today's tidbit, I'm sharing why you shouldn't set your resolutions, on January 1st and what you can do instead. So first of all, you need your mind back. What that means is getting back into the swing of things after the holidays takes a little bit. So after spending time with family, running from party to party, throwing yourself into the typical shopping frenzy for those who do that, you can feel pretty disconnected with your business. It feels like we go into a little bit of a lull at the end of the year in the Western culture, and then we come back full force, and it feels almost like a shock to our system. So try setting sleep and exercise goals for yourself, because we tend to not do that. We might set the goals, but then we don't keep up with them. And I always say lower the bar, start low, and improve, so that you're constantly and consistently and incrementally improving and setting up structure and routine, because that's where we start to become habitual. So pre-work is the key. Pre-work, when I say this, what I mean is taking the time to really look at what fits and what doesn't in your schedule, so that you give serious thought to what you're adding and what you're removing. I always say you got to have your to-do list, but you got to have your what you're not going to do list. And you have to have both of those. So setting up to-dos as well as not to do means we're making space for the new stuff that we want to include. You really have to check in and say, am I willing to give some things up? Because otherwise we're just overfilling an already full plate. Setting goals without context is really why we torpedo ourselves as we're going forward. Also, asking yourself, are there any roadblocks? Because really, truly, when you start looking at, the people who want to become healthier, what are the things that are in your way currently that you're not already doing that? Really, you don't have to have any shame or guilt. It's just, am I willing to make a hard stop, a soft stop, or just start to improve a bit? Where are you on that continuum? How will I set myself up for a win? What else needs to change in order to make it possible? What do I need to say no to, which we'll talk about next week? Because saying no is one of those practices that some people, myself included, my business is called Yes. We have to practice our entire life, because guess what? We're not good at it. So calendars don't matter. I'll put it bluntly. The idea that we need to start over and commit to new things January 1st is made up. It's just like Hallmark cards. They are holidays, whether you adopt them or not, it's up to you. So just because we have what appears to be a new year in front of us doesn't mean we have to tie that to our goal setting. Ask yourself what the right time for you is to begin things, because guess what? Some of us are better in the spring, this fall, May 13th. I don't know, but you have to go with your rhythm, not what the world says. The year end, when they hit, we're all usually at our worst in some way, shape, or form. Very few people are feeling their best at the end of the year. So whatever time you choose, allow time for your pre-work so that you can reflect first. Pause, slow down, look at your calendar. We've got a calendaring video that you can look at to say, hey, how do I reset? And where am I specifically off? Not just exercise, diet, going on the next trip. Those are all important things, but they may not be your things. And then incremental change is what creates real results. It's hard to write and talk. What I had to give up was the idea that this was all going to happen, because I'm a let's take the hill kind of gal. Anyone who knows me will say that. So incremental change, the small things that add up to big result, That's what creates lasting change, sustainable change, behavioral, habitual change. It can be easy to be distracted by ideas of sweeping immediate change, but that's why diet plans don't really work and you end up in the ditch. So instead, choose to focus on a few small, specific resolutions or new practices you can incrementally improve upon to make a big difference when they accumulate. The right time to set your resolution is the time that you will stick to it. It's not always January 1st. This means I want to urge you to wait until your mind is fully engaged, until you are fully present to it. And if that happens to be January 1st, go for it. If not, take your time. You're in control, not your calendar, and make today great. This is your year. How you begin that is up to you. I personally want to finish strong so that it's just a continuation of awesomeness that's already occurring. That's what I got for you today. Have a great day and make today great.